the eastern part of Nigeria. There lived a man named Chijioke. Though blind from birth, Chijioke possessed an extraordinary gift. He was a remarkable cook. The scent of his food would fill the air like the warmth of the sun after a gentle rain, and his dishes were said to be so flavorful that they seemed to have magical properties. His touch in the kitchen was impeccable, guided not by sight but by an absolute understanding of ingredients, textures, and flavors. Chijioke had learned the art of cooking from her mother, who had also been an exceptional cook from a young age. He had amazed everyone with his culinary skills, especially when preparing traditional dishes like jollof rice, ofe nsala, and moi moi. Word of his talents spread far and wide, and before long, people from all over the region were coming to taste his meals. One day, the king of Umudo Kingdom, Igwe Okonkwo, heard of Chijioke's extraordinary skills and summoned him to the royal palace. Chijioke, humble and eager to serve, made his way to the palace. The royal cooks had heard of his reputation and were skeptical at first, but the moment the blind man stepped into the kitchen, they were in awe of his mastery. Chijioke quickly became the king's personal chef. The royal court praised his meals, and soon the king grew fond of him. Every day, Chijioke would cook delicious feasts, from the morning akara with pap to the evening bitterleaf soup with fufu. The king especially loved the way Chijioke could balance spices, creating flavors that danced on his tongue. However, Chijioke's success stirred jealousy among those who envied the king's fondness for him. Some of the king's enemies, high-ranking courtiers who wanted to weaken his influence, saw Chijioke's position as an opportunity. They knew that as a blind man, Chijioke could not see the small dangers around him. They plotted a wicked scheme. The head of this evil team was Ichie Agona, who had always wanted a share of the kingdom because he believed his forefathers were denied the opportunity to be king. He had wanted to go through his daughter, who he stylishly presented to the king as a palace maid. Tried all his best to lure the king to his daughter, but seeing that King Okonkwo was a disciplined king who had self-control, his plots kept failing. One fateful evening, as the king's birthday celebration drew near, the conspirators secretly poisoned the ingredients in a dish that Chijioke had prepared for the royal feast. They believed that if the king ate the poisoned food, he would fall ill, and they could take advantage of the situation to tarnish Chijioke's reputation, discredit him, and perhaps even rid the king of his presence forever. The day of the feast arrived, and the grand hall of the palace was filled with music and laughter. Chijioke, as always, was calm and focused as he walked in the kitchen, completely unaware of the plot. His dish was served to the king alongside others, and Igwe Okonkwo took his first bite. As the food touched his lips, a wave of unease passed through him. Something wasn't right. His body was as though it was on fire. Trying to figure out what was wrong with him, he started sweating profusely, and his heart beating as though it was drumming. In all of this, the king could not immediately identify the cause. Before he could react, the chief priest of the kingdom, a wise old man named Okechukwu, entered the palace. Okechukwu had long been attuned to the spirit world, and often helped the king by consulting with the ancestors. He had a powerful connection to the divine and could sense the deadly energy around the king. As he approached, he immediately noticed the king's discomfort. Igwe Okonkwo Okechukwu said, his voice deep with authority, "You have been poisoned." The royal courtiers gasped in shock. "But fear not, for the spirits have shown me the truth. It was not by your chef's hand, but by the betrayal of those who sit beside you." The conspirators were taken aback, their faces pale. They had thought their plan would go unnoticed, but the chief priest's wisdom was unmatched. Okechukwu performed a ritual to purify the food and cleanse the king's body of the poison. Within moments, the king's strength returned and he stood tall once again. The chief priest's divination revealed the names of those who had conspired against the king, and they were immediately arrested. It was revealed that the traitors had planned to poison the king for their own selfish reasons, hoping to stir unrest and seize power. Their envy had clouded their judgment, and they had sought to harm the very ruler they had sworn to serve. As punishment, the conspirators were banished from the kingdom, never to return. Their treachery was remembered for generations, a dark mark on the history of the land. As for Chijioke, he was celebrated even more for his integrity and skill. The king, deeply grateful for the chef's loyalty, declared him a national treasure, and from that day forward, Chijioke became the most revered chef in the land. His blindness was no longer seen as a limitation, but as a testament to his exceptional gift. He had brought joy, comfort, and prosperity to the kingdom through his food, and the king never again doubted his worth. And so Chijioke's name lived on in the annals of the kingdom as a symbol of wisdom, talent, and resilience, reminding all that true greatness often comes from the most unexpected places.